Hello everybody and welcome back. It is me, your old pal Orpheus, and I hope you're doing great today because we're here with another edition of Orpheus Plays here in the wonderful, wicked, mayhem wizardry world of Blade and Sorcery. Yeah, it's a game that is pretty much amazing because there's so many things to do in this game. We are in the ruins today. Yeah, the ruins, which is a pretty cool map. It's like if the Nazgul had a convention hall, right, to have weddings and stuff in. Anyway, yup. Whether it's day or night, or it's 4 o'clock on a Tuesday on Saturn, and we don't know whether that's day or night, it's just 4 o'clock. I welcome you here to our little community, and I hope you are doing great. So what we're doing today, we are playing survival mode, which is 3 weapons come out. Here on these pedestals, I choose one of them, and I beat the NPCs silly with them. I think we'll start with the bearded axe today. It's another good day for all sorts of stuff. And so, yeah, let's see. Should I grab the chair? Should I beat someone with the chair right away? You will never defeat me with my chair and axe. I feel like a lion tamer. Back, beast! But yeah, let's kick things off here. We're going to do our traditional slow motion kill of the day. This is going to be an unexpected one because it's with a chair. No, it's not. Maybe? Is it with... Ooh, we're having some silly action with the chair right now. Come here. We're doing the slow motion kill with the chair. I don't care. Here, sit down. So yeah, let's see here. I was just I had to do a little bit of tweaking. So my setup here with both the VR. So I've branched off into doing things like Red Dead Online and a little bit of World of Warcraft. I think I've tried to do the World of Warcraft streams. Some have worked, some have not. I've also been messing around with doing Twitch streams and stuff like that, which I mean, it's all this technology that kind of freaks me out that I don't get great with. But where's my next victim? Oh, hello. We'll take care of this the easy way. You are scared now, lady. Take that. Lord Kovacs's lightsaber is here for your face. By the way, if you hadn't noticed, I have modded the game. I now have a GLOCK. I don't know why. This is what I'm talking about, technology. This is incredible to me. I'm in medieval time. This is the time traveler's dream, right? You're in medieval times and you have a friggin' GLOCK, right? Props to whoever designed this. This is funny. It does make things a little bit, way overpowered for me. I mean, I don't know. Come on, right? I'm shooting a guy with a friggin' GLOCK. Let's do it this way so you can aim down sights with me. But yeah, technology, totally amazing, but sometimes it's baffling. But don't worry, your old pal Orpheus has quite a history with technology. I've got a story coming up soon. Actually, you know what? I'll tell that one now. It's kind of a two-part kind of story that goes... Yeah, they go hand in hand, so let's tell them both. So, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Darth Vader... What? No. Well, my family was really into technology. My dad was a tech geek. He would travel to Japan a lot, and he would bring back things that, the Japanese market for electronics is absolutely incredible. They have some things that, we would never imagine that we would need, right? So, I can't get limbs off yet today. Anyway, so, the amazing technology that came out from places like Japan, my dad was always engrossed in it. And once home PCs came out, right? So, my dad's company, we had a factory kind of company that my dad owned. It was a family business. And he always had computers. When they were the brand new technology, we had these huge IBM computers. So these computer consoles that were no joke. This big against a wall, right? This is this huge panel console. You know, like the tape drives and everything, and like every time you'd hit, where are people? Oh, there you are. Every time that someone hit a key on the keyboard, it would, like the inside of the computer would make a clacking noise. Like it would just go chunk, 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 chunk for everyone. So my dad really loved computers. And so the first time that he was able to get a computer to bring home, it was an Apple II Plus. And the Apple II Plus was, for its time, quite an amazing piece of technology. No, that's unfair. It was an amazing piece of technology. It was like, you know, you could do stuff at home that you could never do before. Word processing, play games. There was even ways to do communication on it with other places. Like, I think Prodigy was one of the places that... Anyway, the early internet days is going to be another video that I do soon. Oh my god. So we got this thing, and my dad brought it home, and you know, he's like, we have a technician coming to set it up. Because this was not something that you could do yourself. Because it's not like, you know, now anyone can just, you know, pretty much put together a computer at home. It's like Lego, right? You just like, you order all the parts and you just fit bolts and screws and clips and wires together, and boom, you have a computer. Well, back then we didn't know what the hell to do with that stuff, right? Ooh, I got him by the head. Can I have a little human shish kebab here? Can I do that? Oh, gross. Ooh, it's a head saber. Get off! No, get off my... Okay. But we didn't know what to do. This was like brand new technology. You know, how do you put this together? I have no idea, right? And so... by the way, Mace Windu's lightsaber, thank you very much. I like it because it's the quietest one. It's not, like, annoying. You know what I'm saying? So, it was really advanced stuff. Disassemble! And so, he says, you know, we got a technician coming to set this thing up. He says, so we can't use it yet until we go to classes. So, yes, we actually had to go take classes, computer classes, in order to operate this thing, right? And so it was quite literally us sitting in a classroom and doing, you know, learning about basic programming, and I mean in basic, like the language, learning about how spreadsheets worked and about word processing. And again, you think, well, you know, I just open up Microsoft Word right now and type something out. Well, back then there wasn't Microsoft Word. There was nothing like that except for, you know, high-end business software. And so, like, we had to learn about what a word processor was and how to use it, and like what spreadsheet programming was like. And then, oh, the games. Holy crap. The idea of having games on the computer at home. Because up until that point, you had stuff like Pong and the Odyssey 2 and stuff like that. And if you were lucky, someone that you knew had a ColecoVision or something like that or something, right? Well, so being able to do all these games by yourself, and for the time, oh my god, were they advanced. And so each of these games cost probably like, the equivalent of like $50-$60 these days. And they were ones like, there was a Labyrinth game. There was one called, what was it? Choplifter. Choplifter was a very cool game. I spent a lot of time on that one. And like things like Defender and a lot of text-based adventures like Zork and Myst, and there was a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy one, and a Fahrenheit 451 text game, and they were all amazing. You had to use your imagination and stuff, but, you know, it was like a role-playing game, but all text-based. Very cool stuff, but they all cost so much money. Well, here's the funny thing. With that computer class, you got for free. Well, not really for free. I was saying, you didn't get it for free, but you got all these tech nerds that were already tech nerds. And so they were there, and you had the young teachers that were there that were all into this stuff. And they wanted people to go home and play these games because we could play them all we wanted to at the place. But they were like, we really want you to take these home. Well, disc copying was just ridiculously easy at that point. You put in the disc, you had 2 disc drives. You put in one disc, you put in a blank disc. You tell the computer to copy one disc to the blank disc, and then you're done. Right? And that's that. That's all you do. Oh no. My lightsaber! Good thing I have more than one. Haha! I am your father! And by the way, he doesn't say that. He says, no, I'm your father. Not Luke. I am your father. Anyway. So we just had like dozens of these pirated games. And like, again, the early days of software piracy, like we were some of the first people to do like consumer level software piracy, right? Not bragging, just saying that's pretty fun. And so that was the first thing. My parents sent us to a freaking class in order to learn how to use our home computer. And I guess this was like, what the hell? He like ducked out of the way. Whee! This is the first like instance of technological supremacy that I started getting over my folks, because my dad couldn't take him, and he didn't really need to anyway, because he had done plenty of work with his business computers. My mom just had zero interest in it, and it was just my brother and I, and so suddenly we were leaps and bounds ahead of them in terms of the knowledge that we had. So pretty amazing. Well, since my parents thought that I was really going to be something with computers, not knowing that, in the future everyone would be somebody with computers, right? They sent me to this computer camp. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Yes, shut up. I don't want to hear anything about me being a dork, because I was. So they sent me to this computer camp, and it was sponsored by a local college. A city college. And this was, incidentally, the same city college that I talk about in another video where I took what was essentially pre-med courses, but it was in like between 8th and 9th grade. I was doing stuff like dissecting cadavers and everything. Ugh. Not fun to do when you're that age. Oh no. Oh. But this is the same college that offered this computer camp. And it was just, I think it was at some summer camp that wasn't being used. So it was like your traditional, bunk kind of dormitories, and like a main center for, the classes. And you had a cafeteria and all that stuff. And there was, a lake and a little swimming area and, all that stuff. Well, this was obviously during the summer, as summer camp might imply. And it wasn't the best funded program, okay? I'll get to that in a second. But there you go. That's for you. That's for you. And so it was just technology everywhere. We would have our normal stuff like, having food and having some campfire songs. But this was like ultra nerd stuff, because we would play role-playing games and board games when we weren't in classes. The classes, wow, she's doing a wall sit. Have you ever seen someone do that, where you sit against the wall? That's so hard to do. Darth Vader strikes again. But it was just a bunch of nerds. The classes themselves, we had computers set up, and we learned about so many technologies back then that were completely new. Like, now having something that talks as a computer, like your home assistant or your smart home kind of voice or whatever it is. Okay. That's an artificial... Where did my arm go? That's an artificial voice. And that does its job, doing what it does. It's convincing. It's a voice. Same thing with your voicemail. You call and it says, you have a message from blah, 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 blah. Well, back then you had to have something called a Vox box. And a Vox box, you know what, buddy? a Voxbox was like a voice synthesizer. Apparently these are little knives that come out of this thing, so it sounds like. And a Voxbox was like, it would take the signal and turn it into speech, right? But it was like, if you go look it up, like the early speech generators, they were so primitive. But at the time, amazing, right? You type in something and the computer would talk. It's like, oh, wow. And so there was that. We had some of the first home robotics on the consumer level. I forget the name of them, but they were like the robot kits. Heath something. Swiss cheese memory. Heath kit. That's what it was called. It was a Heath kit. And you could build these robots, and they were cool robots, right? I am a terrible shot. This is why you'll never see me play like Call of Duty or anything like that on stream. I cannot aim to save my life, quite literally, at least in these. And so, you know, the first robots that were on consumer level, we could have them do all sorts of stuff. We had gaming competitions. We learned about hardware and technology. Again, it was like a week and a half long or something. Wow, got another breakdancer. And it was very cool to go to. Well, okay. So this one day, the camp, like I said, not the best funded thing. We ran out of water and drinks one day. And this was, oh my God, it was a hot day. It was incredibly hot outside, especially for the place that we were in. It was so warm out. And there was no drinks, right? No soda pop, no water. And they were like, well, we're gonna, oh, nice shot. They were gonna get water and stuff later on in the day, but like, it was like noon and they weren't gonna have water until like 4 or 5 o'clock. Okay, well, your old buddy Orpheus, being the weird kid that he was, and being impulsive and very stupid, and once again, folks, come here. I hope that's not too loud. I'll have to balance those for other videos. Where'd it go? Oh no. And so, your old buddy Orpheus here decides that he's really thirsty, and so, again, this is one of those things that it had to be the autism. It had to be, because I look back at this now, and it's just like, I don't understand it, and you'll have probably the same exact reaction in a second. I drank a bottle of Scope. Mouthwash. Yeah, I drank, it was one of those, you know, not the huge bottle and not the tiny travel kit size. It was like in between those, right? So it was, I don't know. Scope used to come in like many different sizes, and one was a travel kit size and one was a slightly bigger one, and then there was the big one with like almost a liter bottle. This was like the mid-size one, and I drank the whole thing. I don't know why. Like, I just decided that that's what I was gonna do, and I chugged this thing. And if you know anything about most mouthwashes, they are up to sometimes 40% alcohol, so it's like 80 proof 80 proof mouthwash, right? Very bad for you though, because I told my counselor, because he noticed I was minty fresh and stumbling and slurring my words a little bit, and he asked, you know, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I drank a bottle of Scope. And he's like, you did what? I said, I drank a bottle of Scope. I said, you drank a bottle of mouthwash? I said, yeah. Instantly taken up to the main, like, to the head of the council, like the program. He had a cabin. Immediately go up to there. Immediately to the nurses station. They're called the Poison Control Center. And they're like, what do we do? What do we do? He's drank an entire bottle of Scope. Oh, now that you're stuck to the floor like Ned Stark, take that. And so Poison Control Center says, you know, just have him drink a lot of fluids, and you'll take care of it. And so we're like, well, there's not really a lot of fluids. So they had to go down to a local gas station and get a couple bottles of water and stuff. And by the time they got back, the water had already been to the camp. But I was just like, I think I was tripping balls. I don't know what was going on. Like, I don't have any memory between when they called poison control and later on that day. I remember having a really weird taste in my mouth. And you're like, of course you drank a bottle of mouthwash. No, I mean, like, it didn't taste like mouthwash. It tasted like rubber and like motor oil. Look, with my brain damage, sometimes I taste and smell things that aren't there. So it could have been that like the mouthwash had messed up something in my brain temporarily. But, you know, possibility. Is that what happened? I don't know. Oh, good Lord. Oh, Jesus. But yeah, nothing ever came of that. I guess the poison control didn't want me to throw it up or anything. I don't remember. Like, again, there's just like this fuzzy gap of time. I don't know if it was because I was poisoned or whatever, but yeah, that's what happened there. Oh, and incidentally, I got made fun of for that, and I mean like relentlessly, to the point where I was like gang rushed by a bunch of the kids. I was gang rushed by a bunch of the kids who, instead of doing a wedgie, wow, where did I hit him to one-shot him? Wow. So instead of getting a wedgie, right, these kids pulled my underwear off of me, like, forcefully, which, I mean, all sorts of odd, like, awkwardness going on with that. And they hung it on the frigging flagpole. Dude, how many shots are you gonna take? No reloading, magic gun. But like, they hung my underwear up on the flagpole, and so for an entire day, my tidy whities are sitting there flapping in the breeze. And everyone was like, yeah. And I think they even made like had the person who did the announcements over the PA, like, whoever owns the underwear, please get them down, or something like that. I don't remember. I was absolutely mortified by that. Anyway, that's some stories of early PC days. Had to go to classes for one of them, and went to computer camp. God, that was a weird time in my life. I don't even know what I was thinking. Anyway, hopefully you're having a good day. I hope you enjoyed those little stories with my lightsaber action here. And we'll see you next time here on Blade and Sorcery on Orpheus Plays. See you later. Bye.